Human Design Gate 1. Make way for self-expression, creativity, and a strong sense of individuality, because we're about to enter Gate 1, aka Gate of Self-Expression of Human Design. People with Gate 1 express pretty dope qualities, that's for sure. However, with the downside of every gate, Gate 1 also brings dark shadows with it. What are those? And what impact does Gate 1 have on relationships and career? Let's dive in. Gate of Self-Expression. Situated in the G Center, Gate 1, aka the Gate of Self-Expression, is a creative powerhouse. The most fascinating part of this gate is that it's linked to the throat center through channel 1-8, the channel of inspiration. Why is this fascinating? Well, the throat center is where communication and manifestation reside. This connection allows those with this gate to share their unique identity and creativity with all the ease in this world. Because those with Gate 1 activated are nothing short of trendsetters. These angelic people have a knack for showcasing their individuality and creativity in everything they do. Plus, they also often have a natural gift for speaking eloquently and expressing themselves in a way that's captivating and artistic. It's almost like they have their own signature style that you can distinctively see from afar. You can imagine this gate as a gateway, pun intended, to your unique self because it's where your sense of identity and personal direction are home. Interestingly, when this gate is active in your chart, your self-expression comes as naturally to you as your nature. Moreover, with Gate 1 activated, you may also feel a strong inner urge to bring your creativity to life, and it could be through any medium: art, writing, speaking, or anything. But as it is with any gate, the gate of self-expression also comes with its own set of hurdles. People with this gate are so individualistic that oftentimes they might feel that they're not quite understood or valued. We'll talk about it in detail in a while, but before that, let's see how Gate 1 shows up in your chart. Undefined and defined Gate 1. Now, you need to understand that there are two ways Gate 1 can pop up in your chart. It can either be defined or undefined. If it's defined, it might stand alone if Gate 8 isn't defined. Or, if Gate 8 is defined, it could join forces with it to form the channel of inspiration. This signals that creativity and authenticity are the key players in your life storyline. Isn't that pretty cool? Now, even if Gate 1 isn't locked and loaded in your chart, there's still a way you can get a taste of its mojo. How? You see, the sun visits Gate 1 for about 5 to 6 days each year, and then there's the moon that makes a monthly pit stop. During these moments, you can tap into Gate's energy for a creative boost. In fact, you can even take the chance to do some self-reflection and work on your growth. However, Gate 1 isn't all about you. The magical thing about it is that it can also sprinkle its magic over your relationships as well. If someone dear to you has Gate 1 defined, it's possible that you might pick up on its vibes when you're hanging out with them. Don't worry, we'll give you more deets on how Gate 1 impacts your relationships, but before that, you need to completely visualize the energy of Gate 1. Gate 1 energy. Do you know the most fun part about the energy of Gate 1? Just like every other human design gate, Gate 1 spans a range of frequencies. That means you have the choice of which frequencies you want to embrace. When you're operating at the higher frequencies of Gate 1, you will recognize that creativity and periods of low mood will often occur together. We guess it's true. Sadness is critical to producing the best art. In the higher frequencies, you honor the natural ebbs and flows of your creative journey. You accept the darkness and light are both important parts of the process. Then, with love and acceptance, you embrace moments of flatness because you know that your creative spark will resurface over time. Instead of trying to understand or fix these lows, you see them as natural phases of creativity. What this renewal cycle does is that it grants you the ability to infuse brightness into any groove, but at that perfect moment. Now, what happens when you're operating at the low frequencies of Gate 1? Well, it's possible that you might struggle with self-judgment and a sense of inadequacy during periods of low energy. Instead of recognizing these times as natural phases of the creative journey, you may attempt to avoid or fix any feelings of melancholy. This could cause you to go into a state of depression, a state where you feel trapped and are desperately seeking to escape your emotions. You also might feel a lot of pressure to produce something extraordinary, but you also might feel bogged down about any doubts about the enormity of your life's purpose. Now, it's time to take a sneak peek at the impact of Gate 1 on relationships. Gate 1 and relationships. The impact of Gate 1 runs deep in relationships. Of course, people with active Gate 1 treasure their individuality, and that plays a big role in how they connect with others. These people are all about finding a connection where they can just be themselves. No judgment, no holding back. They dig authenticity and honesty. They're all about partners who celebrate and cheer on their creative vibes and unique perspectives. If you have an active Gate 1, you'll notice that you bring a boatload of creativity and a fresh take on things. You like to cheer on your partners and encourage them to fully embrace their quirks. But hey, sometimes your strong focus on being your own person can lead to a few bumps in the road. Your partner might feel a bit overwhelmed by your unstoppable urge to let their freak flag fly. For those with Gate 1, getting a hurdle on expressing their feelings and desires is super important. They're usually pretty good at letting their thoughts and emotions out into the world. But sometimes they might need to fine-tune their communication skills to make sure others really get where they're coming from. Gate 1 and its influence on career. Now, Gate 1 doesn't just stop at relationships. It's got its fingers in the career pie too. If you're Gate 1 active in your chart, you'll have the burning desire to let your true self shine through your work. You'll notice that you're drawn to gigs where you can let your creativity run wild. Think artsy roles, innovative positions, or anything that lets you put your unique spin on things. Your out-of-the-box perspectives and creative vibe bring a breath of fresh air to everything you do. Another best thing about these people is that they can come up with genius solutions that no one would have thought of. However, with such perks of creativity also come the cons. You might also feel a bit bummed out if your contributions fly under the radar. If your creative genius isn't getting the props it deserves, or if you can't fully be yourself at work, it can be a real downer. That's why it's crucial for you to find workplaces that champion the same values that you do. Dark side of Gate 1. So, like every gate in human design has its flip side, right? Gate 1's got its own shadows. Sometimes the shadowy side shows up as being all about themselves. You might totally brush off other people's perspectives or needs. You can imagine how this might stir up some drama, especially in relationships or when they're part of a group. People with this gate might find themselves struggling with the feeling of being misunderstood. If others don't quite get where they're coming from or what they're all about, it can leave them feeling pretty lonely or disconnected, you know? Plus, their strong desire to express themselves might sometimes tip over into the me first kind of vibe. They're so focused on getting their own thoughts and feelings out there that they might not stop to think about how it affects the people around them. For Gate 1 people, it's very important to be aware of these pitfalls and handle themselves with care. You need to find that sweet spot between expressing yourself and being mindful of other people's feelings and viewpoints. And then there's the whole struggle with getting your awesome ideas across. We mean you might have the genius insights swirling around in your head, but if you can't articulate them in a way that clicks with others, they might just pass you by. So, brushing up on those communication skills is a must if you really let your brilliance shine through. Dealing with rejection or criticism can be tough for people with an activated Gate 1. If someone doesn't find value in your ideas, it can sting. Or if someone doesn't see the ingeniousness in your solutions, you might just want to give up completely. That's why it's so important for these people to build up confidence and resilience so they can bounce back from those hits without spiraling so much. Regardless of your activated gates, you have the power to manifest your energy in positive ways. So keep shining and believing in your potential. If you want to learn more about gates and human design, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stuff. See you next time, folks.